condominiums now and houses.
Have you heard of this? Just right, I don't know. I just remembered it. Have you heard of this light bulb that GE has made? And I think it's available in the US, but it costs $60. But it supposedly lasts for 20 years. Like, it's a really energy efficient.
It's probably a LED lamp, a new type of LED lamp.
Probably, or it's high intensity. I don't know.
HID.
Yeah, it's an
But
HID
there are
type or
new
halide
things
system. But
coming out, no, instead of like just our regular bulbs. At least, you know, where the industry is becoming more geared towards that. Like, people will say $60 for a bulb, but yeah, but it can last for 20 years. I mean, the basics.
Okay. This is probably, I'm not saying this, generally, but it's one of those marketing styles that they have.
Yes.
It's a marketing tool that they use. It's going to last you $60. For you to buy, a $60 bulb, they'll have to have some marketing gimmick there. Otherwise, nobody would buy
They'll
it.
say it's green,
So they say
eco-friendly, blah,
it's
blah,
green,
blah. Yeah.
eco-friendly. But again,
And you can cook toasts and eggs with it.
my experience with someone selling, I mean, I personally use it first before I give it to the client. There was one particular bulb that I used, and they said that it's a CFL, it's compact fluorescent, very energy efficient. It's about 6 watts, I believe, with the equivalent of 50 watts halogen, and it cost something like 900. So I was sort of, trying to swallow to buy 900 to try it out. So I did. So I had to use it for my house to see if it works. I mean, and they said it's guaranteed for the next 5 years. 5 months, more like
you replaced it within the year. That
more like
also
5
happens,
months.
Yeah.
But they guaranteed it. So I returned it and I said, okay, look, you said 5 years, but it's 5 months. And they tell me there's something wrong with your electrical.
Nah, it's the bulb.
Okay, so I said, okay, can you please, because the agreement was, can you please replace it? So they replaced it, put it there. Lo and behold, another 3 months.
Yeah, because I mean,
3 months.
that's it.
And this is 900.
I consider lamps and bulbs in general as consumables. So if you will ask me, I would prefer the 1 year, not really cheap ones, energy efficient ones that not cost too much.
Yeah, and sometimes when what gets me about lighting, and I'll stop talking after this about lighting, is that sometimes they recommend these lights, but I can't see. It's not the right type of light. I prefer white light to yellow.
So how do you address that? I mean, is it better with white light, warm white,
depends.
yellow?
Depends. If you're trying to light up some areas, sometimes I do combinations. You cannot have all warm. You either use warm, cool, or white daylight, which is this one. That's daylight. It depends on what you're trying to light up. If you're creating a mood, then warm would be the best.
Warm white, all right.
Yeah, in certain locations. But if you're trying to light up the whole place, then and still try to keep a certain mood, then it should be warm and white light. Sometimes I use cool white.
When is
white is easier on the eye. It's as bright as well. So you'll have a combination of both. You get the advantage for both. So it really depends on the area, the lighting that you want to portray. That's why when I tell the clients, what are we using? Okay, for this room we use this white and yellow. In that room it's different.
Now, for example, if you're fitting out an office space, I assume there has to be some logic behind the reason of you placing that shelf here and a table here. How do you determine that? Because I understand you fit out, so you're given an empty space, and lo and behold, the client comes back, the room is filled.
Well, if it's an office, we have to ask the client, first of all, it's the type of business that they have, and the number of people, number of employees they have, what is the movement, where the computers will be. Because I did one specifically, and we had to, each of the tables that we had to put had exactly what they needed. For instance, all the outlets were there, right on each table.
On each table, all right.
All the computer LAN systems were there. So we had to build it in for each employee because it was critical, and each one had to communicate with the other and their international offices. So this is a 24-hour office, and they had to be online. So we had to have everything built in for each employee, and then movement, where the meeting rooms are, where the pantries would be, and if somebody, let's say, ate on the pantry,
Yeah.
would that smell?
Yeah, would it smell?
So
Would
that's a question that we have to ask. And what is the basically movement of employees? That's the most important.
and
You'll
you'll
have to
also
allot
be
for
dealing
space.
with the not just space, but then okay, you need this type of air conditioner with this much horsepower if you
Yes.
don't want them to die of a heat
Well,
stroke.
okay. Now for air conditioning again, we prefer to rely again on the professional.
Yes, okay,
Because
yes. They have their
although
own.
we know how
Yeah.
to calculate, but they would have to tell us exactly how many horsepower is required for this number of people inside this type of space.
And you follow that.
We have to follow it because efficiency is the most